What's up, Fantasy Champions? Spotlight Sports Network is excited to tell you about an amazing deal from Thrive Fantasy, your place for daily fantasy sports and esports. Right now, with promo code SS Network, Thrive Fantasy will match up to $50 of your first deposit. So go to thrivefantasy.com and sign up now with promo code SS Network. That's thrivefantasy.com, promo code SS Network.
I heard they want the news. Well, we got it just for you. What's your team? Who your player? Who your crew? I heard they want the news. The spotlight is on you, and if you in the hot seat, it's times two. I heard they want the news. Come tune in to the crew, but we got the hook up just like black and blue. I heard they want the news. Spotlight Sports, what it do? Hit subscribe and that like button too. I heard they want the news.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to MK in the Morning, and we got a very special one for you guys today. We got my guy Vick3. Come on in here, man. He's one of the best guys I ever met on YouTube. One of my favorite people I ever met. Just very knowledgeable about the game of football and everything. How's it going, Vic?
Hey man, good morning. How's it going, Mitch? How we doing?
We're doing good. It's cold. I mean, it's still snowing, geez. It's snowing.
Yeah, I got the same thing going on over here.
Yeah. So, for the people that don't know you, what do you do for your channel? Like, describe what you do.
For my channel, I got two shows. I have, well, actually three. I have, of course, East Meets West, with my guy, Foothills, and AK Eagles Uncensored. We're always doing our thing every Wednesday night. And I got the post-game show, which I do after every Eagles game. And then I got the big ticket with Jerry Lee. It's Saturday event that I've been under the weather lately, battling the vid, so we haven't been on for a while, but we'll get it going, sometime soon.
All right, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. I'm glad you can be on here. Football weather, Gio? Yeah. Do we need a safety?
Yeah,
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But to start off with, I'm just going to kick it off here. There's rumors going around that Andre Dillard may be on the move. Eagles been requesting calls. So what would you want to do with Andre Dillard? Would you trade him, and what would you want back?
Yeah. If anyone has seen me before, they've seen my discussion with Philly Mike. I've been a staunch proponent of getting rid of this kid. I think we should have done it last year. There's a couple of players that I discussed, but Andre Dillard specifically, it's been enough. We've seen what he can do. He's been with one of the best offensive line coaches in Jeff Stoutland. If you can't get anything out of him with Jeff Stoutland, I don't see anything going well in his, for his future here with Philadelphia. So I think we should get what we can out of him and move on.
Yeah. I mean, could we get like a linebacker for him, you think? Because
I don't know if you can get a player. I don't know if you would be able to get a player specifically, maybe a later round draft pick. That's something that would be for him. Yeah, to get a player, he would have to have more equity. He doesn't have much.
Right. It's just like another draft bust of Howie Roseman. I mean, come on. But the way the Eagles have used him, like behind Jason Peters, behind these veterans. Maybe they got a guy in his head a little bit, Dillard's, and it's just like not as good now. But anything could have happened. So I want this guy gone. Like
Yeah,
instant a fourth
yeah. It
round.
seems that when he was in college, he had a pretty good college career. It may be that the talent in the NFL may be too much. Again, we all seen the issues. We've seen the deficiency. We've all talked about how he can't handle the bull rush. This would be his fourth year, I believe, if he would this year coming up.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed. Again, it's all about progression, and we haven't seen much out of it. So I understand he's young, but youth is only one part of the whole equation. You don't want to make that a large factor. Again,
All
if you
right.
see this player hasn't progressed in 4 years, and it's like I said, with the talent that we have in our coaching staff at offensive line, yeah, there isn't much we can do.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't speak. Our offensive line is like very deep, and knowing where Brandon Brooks out, retired now. Jason Kelsey might retire. People are talking about Lane Johnson retiring. So we're probably going to have to draft maybe like one or two in like the second or third round. You agree with that?
Yeah, it was something that was a concern during the season because you had to look at the offseason. We all knew that there's a possibility that Jason Kelsey may retire. We didn't know about Brandon Brooks, but we thought for the most part he may get traded away because of his injury history. And we all know throughout the years the talk about Lane Johnson. Although he performed better in the second half of the season, there were still talks about is there a possibility this might be his last year? We didn't know. But that's three starters on that offensive line. And when you think about, you have your other guard position that was used by Lane Dickerson, and he was a fill-in. So that's a big issue. That's a big hole, especially with our offensive line and the progression that we're going to expect out of Jalen Hurts. We're gonna need to do a lot of work.
Yeah. And someone has a question for you here, Alexis. Vic, is Jalen Duren the Bucks wide receiver?
Is he the Bucks wide receiver? I'm not sure who he is, honestly.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm
Like
sorry.
the
Yeah, I'm
only
not.
Bucks wide receiver I'm pretty. They have Godwin. They have Mike Evans. They have another
Well, they had a
guy.
lot of turnover because of the injuries. So yeah, like their receiver lineup right now, I don't know.
You would love a pass rush. Yeah. I mean, definitely, we
Definitely.
definitely need a pass rush. If we could get that from Dillard, that's definitely a gain.
Well, that's another issue we have when we're looking at going forward into the offseason. Fletcher Cox. That's a big question mark there too. Then you got to think about the defensive end positions.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So it's actually here. Calvin Ridley is actually he liked a tweet on Twitter. I'm just gonna pull it up right now. It was just like it was talking about how Calvin Ridley, the offense of Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and those three. It just has to be. Can you imagine that chemistry on the Eagles right now? If that would
It,
happen,
it, it would be good. Yeah, they have the relationship in Alabama. We've all seen the pictures. We all seen the tweet. Um, Calvin really had some issues this year. There were some personal issues. He had to get himself together. Hopefully, he took enough time away and got that taken care of. As for him being on the Eagles, I would welcome it depending on, what the contract terms would be. I think he's a good player, has a lot of talent. Again, we talked about the relationship that he has with the quarterback, the relationship he already has with one of the receivers. It seems that, it would be an easy fit to come in. But also you have to, like I said, take a look at what were the issues that happened. What took him away from football, and are we past that? And I think that would be the biggest concern for me. Is Calvin really ready to come back? Because I don't want someone who's rushing to come back. I want someone, if this is something with your mental health, listen, take all the time you need away. Don't rush back for any reason. Take care of yourself first. Now, if he feels that he's at that point where he's okay and he's ready to come back and play, hey, we got to see what we can do to get him.
Yeah. I mean, Calvin Ridley liked this tweet. He also liked the tweet Miami Dolphins with Tua. So he really wants to be back with the Bama guys. It looks like.
Yeah,
What's
it
up?
seems like he wants to get back with his friends.
Yeah. I mean, the Falcons are just not it right now. Matt Ryan needs to go. They have so many holes there. So, what's up, Uncensored? Glad you could
Hey,
be
what's
here,
going on,
man.
okay?
Yep. But yeah, can you imagine him on the second next to Devontae though? Like that would be scary. That would be beyond
Yeah,
scary.
it would be very good, very beneficial for our offense. But again, I think it sounds good to think about Ridley right now, but just like what we spoke about the offensive line and defensive line, there are more pressing concerns at the moment. That's something that if it comes our way and it seems to work out, then by all means, I would accept it. But that's not something that I don't think the team has to focus on right now. There's so
You're
many
right.
concerns with this team. Yeah, I don't think receiver right now, just for a free agent receiver, as for Ridley, I don't think that's the top. That's on top of the list right now.
Yeah. Give us a first depth wide receiver of yours, and it's a done deal. We'll give you Rager. We'll give you Rager and a pick. Take him.
If anyone was to take Rager, I listen. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just like, just take that guy. I'm getting tired of Rager and Whiteside. We definitely need a veteran wide receiver, and that's the next topic we're going to do. DJ Clark. It's a rumor that the Eagles are looking at for a free agency. How do you like DJ Clark?
He was all right in Jacksonville. I don't think he really stood out that much. He had one decent season. This year I don't know if he was injured much because I didn't really hear much about him. I think early in the season
He was
he
injured
had some
this year.
numbers.
He was injured.
Yeah, because I know early in the season he had some numbers and he faded away. But again, I really don't want to have an injured player coming in as a free agent. I rather have someone who had a productive season last year and is coming in healthy and can build off that productive season. I don't want to take a risk on someone who's already injured. For me, he might have the potential, but that injury takes me out. It's a season ending, free agent right now, and you're still trying to prove yourself with the team that you're currently with. I'm out.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I know he did go to LSU, but 2 years ago, he had like a 1,000-yard season at age 23. He's 25 right now, so that age is perfect for us. I mean, I would take
Yeah,
that, but I don't know how much I would pay for him.
I totally get it, but again, like I said before, age is only one part of the equation. You don't want to make it the whole factor.
Mm-hmm. I'll take Rager. That's better than nothing. All right, perfect. Done. Done. Take that.
Deals like that could be
Dig
worked out.
umbrella,
That
man.
would be great.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a good. When is free agency? After the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it'll be later in March. Usually around the 23rd, I think. I'm not sure, but usually around then.
Yeah, that's when the
But because of
fun
the Super
starts.
Bowl being later in the year, it might be pushed back to April. I'm not really sure. You have to check up on that.
Yeah. Is Howie Roseman a good GM?
When you factor everything in and what he's done, you can't look at one thing specific because we all know the issue with drafting. But he's made decent deals. We've got a Super Bowl. He's the only GM that's gotten us a Super Bowl. We're in a pretty good position what we're looking into now. I think I mentioned it before. I really hope that this season would have been his contract year instead of it being, him resigning this year. If that hasn't happened yet, but I'm assuming, that's going to happen. But I would rather this year be the year that he proves himself because, like I said, there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of work to be done this offseason. But to answer the question, I think he's a good GM. I don't think he's anything, spectacular. I don't think he can start like a program. I don't think he's going to be like someone who can go like Jacksonville and start something up. If something established like what he has here, and as long as he's in Philadelphia, I think he's the guy for the job. But if he's anywhere else, I don't think he would be as good.
Howie's not as bad as I thought. Eagles can't sign me now. Oh my god. Just don't even bring up that guy's name. Please don't. If you say one thing, triggers. I think I told you this before. It was back in week 3 when we played Dallas. And he was bumping us up like we're going to beat him by 50 and all this stuff. And I was like, whoa, calm down there. Calm down. You're going to jinx us. And he said, I switched up on the Eagles. He said this. He said that. He blocked me. And he talked about me for 2 straight streams.
Sometimes people, they flip flop, and like I said, just watch the game and just smarten up, grow a little intelligence. That's all. That's all it is. Sometimes they're misguided.
Aguilar had one good season in Oakland. Now look at him in the Pats. He's garbage. Is he really
Yep.
garbage in New England?
Hey,
Really?
there was a lot of times that they went to him this season and he failed horribly. Yeah, I'm going to agree with that statement. Aguilar is garbage. We got rid of him for a reason.
Yeah. Free agency starts like in the middle of March since the draft. It's close to the end of April. Wait.
Yeah.
Didn't 1 year
They
they
get
had a
about like
draft
a month
in
or
May?
so. No, they get about like a month before the draft when they start free agents. That's why I didn't know what the exact date was, but I know it's later in March.
Yeah, I thought the draft was in May or something. I know it was that late, but yeah. 1 sec here. Here's another one. We need a QB. Hurts not the okay. I knew this was gonna come up at some point. I just freaking knew it.
Well, I would like to know what would be the reason why, because a lot of times when people, mention, oh, we need a quarterback, they never have a reason why. They never bring substance to that conversation. It's always, yeah, we think Minshew or someone else, but they never say specifically what Hurts has done for them not to think that he could be the quarterback. So usually when comments like that, I want to see a reason why you think that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, I was watching this historical weekend of football this past weekend, right? You had Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, those quarterbacks. Do you think Jalen Hurts could be one of those quarterbacks?
I think he can, but again, it's all on what progression is made. It's all on how much he wants it. We've seen that, with hard work, you can get there. We talk about Tom Brady. I know he's the exception, but again, we've seen that throughout the years, he developed himself. It isn't just because of the game mentally. Physically, he developed himself into becoming a better quarterback. So I think that's something that Jalen has to do, and he has to work on, again, working on his accuracy. That's something that I hope this offseason that, he finds a good quarterback coach. We all know that Brian Johnson is looking around for jobs now, so I don't think he has any time to be assisting at the moment. Plus, in the offseason, Jalen has to go out and do his thing. I hope he gets with someone like Jordan Palmer. I've been saying it for a while. That he gets with him and works with him. Look what he's done with Josh Allen. I want the same progression with Jalen as, they've seen with Josh Allen. I always compare those two. I hope that's something that he goes out and does.
Yeah. Because Hurts is just a backup and draft Matt Carroll, we're not drafting a quarterback this year. We're not drafting a quarterback this year.
Huh? Did Coral Harvey say, did he get hurt?
Did he? Oh.
Yeah. Wasn't he the one that got hurt? He got hurt during a bowl game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you're trying to replace Jalen Hurts, who had a pretty good second season, to a quarterback who had a decent last year in college and then got hurt in the bowl game. That doesn't make sense, my guy. We got to bring more substance to the conversation.
Yeah. He doesn't have a good. Speak English. He doesn't have a good arm.
I have a good arm. I got it. But I don't know how you would say that. You got to be more specific in saying how he doesn't have a good arm. There's been passes that we've seen Jalen Hurts have touch. We've seen him have, a good amount of power to it. We've seen him, make nice throws. We've also seen him throw some lame ducks. Well, we've seen better passes and we've seen worse.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up, Jay Milton? Thank you for popping in. Brian Johnson's supposed to be up for Vikings position. Ooh.
Yeah, he's looking at some offensive coordinator openings right now. So, congrats to him. But again, we got to evaluate. Hopefully, like Sirianni this season, hopefully he's reevaluating his coaching staff. Even though, Jonathan Gannon's getting some head coaching looks, for me, I think it's time to move on. I've seen
from Gannon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of the fan base, agrees. We've seen enough. I'm hoping that, we get a veteran coach in here, one of the former head coaches in here to run this defense.
Yeah, and it's actually funny. Jonathan Gannon is getting his second interview today with the Texans.
Apparently, it's between Gannon and our former quarterback, Josh. Oh my God, I'm forgetting his last name.
Here, I got the picture. I got it. It's
Josh McCown. There we go.
Yep.
Which is wild to me because Josh McCown, other than high school, has no head coaching experience in the NFL. I think he was like a quarterback coach for a season.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. But Texans do what they do. Hopefully they get Gannon.
Yeah. Hopefully I would freaking love it. Take this guy off.
Yeah, Josh McCown, that's crazy. But listen, I think for the Texans, if those are your only two choices, I'm going to have to advocate for Jonathan Gannon. He has had coaching. He has more coaching experience than what McCown has. You can't go into another season blindly.
Yeah. I thought that what happened to Brian Flores? He's just like
Well, I think he was in conversations with the Giants, but we all know Brian Dable got the job now.
Yeah.
The Bears were also another team, but I think they got their coach in Eberflus out of Colts, former coach for the Eagles. I think there are other positions that he has meetings for, but I don't know specifically if he's in contention for any of the teams.
Right. Don't you dare take that job away from Gannon, Josh.
Facts, please.
Can you? Okay, so if this does happen, who would you want a defensive coordinator to be?
Oh, I haven't kept this a secret at all, Mike Zimmer. But
Yeah, I said
will
that.
say this. Even though a lot of people mentioned Vic Fangio, I wasn't really a fan until today. I saw an interview of his. Yeah, like his mindset, the kind of guy he is, would be great for this team. I think he would make this team so much better. Like the toughness would automatically come. You would see the difference. Either those two guys, I have respect for both. I would be happy, but we got to see what happens. Hopefully, Texans do Texans moves and they hire this guy.
Now, who's the one from the Ravens that just got let go?
Oh, you mean Harbaugh? Then I don't know what I forgot how to say his name. They're interim, but it looks like Josh McDaniels might get the job.
Yeah,
It looks like that's going to be a New England connection. They have someone that was in New England front office in position to get the GM job, and then McDaniels gets the head coaching job.
Tell Josh to come to be an associate QB coach or passing game coordinator. I mean,
was that his? Wait, is he saying that's his experience? It's just associate QB coach.
I didn't even know that was a freaking thing.
I really hope Coach Donte was in the chat. Like he could probably shed more light on this, because if that's the case, Jonathan Gannon might get his first head coaching job shortly. I would hope.
Yo, what's up, Bobby Murphy? McCown is the front runner for the Texan job. They were close to hiring McCown last offseason. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Mitch, yep.
He must in the meetings, he must say like he probably has a pretty good coaching staff for him to be a front runner. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. He must come with like a pretty good coaching staff.
Mm-hmm. Martindale rumored to be the Giants' defensive coordinator. There that goes.
I heard there were a couple of rumors. People were saying that maybe Patrick Johnson would stay, or Patrick Graham, would stay. But it looks like what is it, Martindale? It looks like they're saying he has the position.
Yeah. McDaniels to interview Vegas. I mean, that's what I've been hearing.
I think that was last night. Actually, they had dinner with the owner, and you might hear something today. You might hear it Monday. I don't know.
You're right. I mean, the Raiders need help right now. Like, they need everything that they can get. So, we have we have the best running back room in the league. We have the best. So, with Miles Sanders, do you think we should trade him, and would you re-sign Jordan Howard?
Well, to say if you should trade him, it all depends on the offer. I would say that, because you always got to keep an open mind when you're looking at your players and what value they can bring you. But right now, I can't say we can't trade him at the moment, because what do we have behind that? We have Howard, who I think was on a 1-year deal. You have Gainwell, and there's some guys who've been on the practice squad, but they've been on the practice squad for a while and for a reason. So there isn't really much after Miles at the moment. Now, if they have a clear-cut plan that, they're looking for someone specifically, or they have someone in the draft that they're looking for, or they have a plan for that, then by all means, then do what you have to do. Because although Miles has been getting, has had games with decent yardage, a lot of that really isn't that good when you look at the tape. You know what I mean? You don't really see Miles being leaned on for red zone. You don't really see Miles doing much. There's some 20-yard scampers, but that's usually later in the game when the defense is tired and you might get a little spurt here and there. That led on. Again, he had a couple 100-yard games, but nothing really much coming out of it. Not really used in the passing game that much anymore. He's basically 2 down back for the most part. So I don't know what their thought process is with Miles this season coming up.
Yeah. Trade Sanders, sign Howard, and draft Isaiah Spiller in the second round. I mean,
that could work out. Hey.
If that could definitely work out, I'm up for that, like definite. But I just got this feeling that Kenneth Gainwell's going to take his spot. He's going to take Miles Sanders' snaps. I just got that feeling.
I don't know because, again, Gainwell running between the tackles, I haven't seen much progress in that. Maybe next year he might get a little better at it, but I don't really see him being, again, a 3-down back or a 2-down back right now. You know, he's a change of pace. He's a passing option. That's what I see him right now. You know, they tried that in the beginning of the season. You've seen that, you know, really wasn't catching on. Maybe in the next season, like I said, maybe next season, under a little bit more development, you might see him get better. But I don't really see him being a feature or starter right now.
Gainwell's a first running back. All right. I don't see it either, honestly. I really don't. Good morning, Grandizer. Glad you could be here.
Hey, good morning, my guy.
And the last, I forget what show I was doing it on. It was with Gio, MK Headlines on Tuesday. We were talking about the running back rooms, and I think Uncensored brought up if we got Fournette. If we somehow got Fournette, we would not even need Jordan Howard. So he was up for put Jordan Howard like away and get a free agent running back. But I love Howard. Look, that means we'll be cutting him for 3 times.
That would be amazing if we would be able to pull that off and get Fournette because you essentially wouldn't need Miles or you wouldn't need Howard. You would take care of both of those needs. With Tampa, Fournette has stepped up his game in receiving, I should say. So I would say he would be a good free agent acquisition. But again, it depends on the deal. We don't know what he's asking for right now. I don't think it's going to be like top money. But again, it all depends on what's being asked.
Yeah. Gainwell was so picking up the extra rusher. Do we need an edge? Yes. And Gainwell's a 2 or a 3 running back. That is true. Yes. Now, what about Boston Scott? How much longer is he under contract?
That I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know his contract status at the moment.
I'll look. I mean, because he's a Giants killer, so just for that reason,
he's a good guy to have because again, he's in a break the glass in you when you need him. He's always there. You know, Boston always comes before him. Small guy, but he has a lot of heart.
He's a restricted free agent.
Oh, so you can't even do anything with that. So you got to see what offers are out there, and you know, if no one bites, then you can resign him.
2020, he's a restricted free. Scott's a restricted free agent, so we can't even really do anything with that.
But I think a team would be looking for his talent. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's a good player. He's a good backup.
He is. And then we still have Jason Huntley, who I don't even think he's going to get it. I don't even think he's going to be on the team next year, honestly.
Yeah, especially with a lot of those practice squad guys. They've been on the team 2-3 seasons. You haven't seen much. Maybe they want to turn things over. You never know.
Wait, there's a rumor about Juju Smith-Schuster here? I mean, I don't want a guy who does TikTok dances every 5 seconds. That's just me.
I don't see any problem with that. I have no problem with the TikTok. My thing is, you know, the production on the field. If you're producing on the field, then by all means, I'd welcome it. The TikTok thing, I don't really care for that. Like, it doesn't bother me.
Yo, Snake Sports Talk Show. What is up, man? A fellow content creator for the Spotlight Sports Network. A huge Chargers Vegas Knights fan. Great guy. Eagles need to rely on their run game. And that has been on the formula since Staley, Westbrook, and McCoy. I really hope Miles Sanders will get the ball more often. I think that's about it. I mean, he needs to get the ball more often. He does.
He does. But he has to show more too. You know, Miles does, and he has to be on the field. That's another thing. Miles has to be more consistent. But like AK mentioned though, I'm really liking that idea, Leonard Fournette. especially the way we want to run the ball. We need a physical back, and Fournette's that guy.
Yeah, we do need a secondary tight end. We were talking about that. This free agency class for the tight ends is stacked. I mean, you got
Yeah.
Ertz, you got Gronk. I want OJ Howard, but would you want to go out in free agency and get a secondary tight end?
Well, isn't what is his name? David Njoku from Cleveland? Isn't he a free agent? I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind taking a flyer on him. Fast kid, young, hasn't been really injured that much, hasn't been used much in Cleveland. Kind of reminds me of Jordan Howard in a way, but Howard's been injured more. I like David Njoku if that could be an option. Ertz, we all know. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that re-signing would
I don't
happen.
want
I think
Ertz back after that.
Gronkowski is kind of like a Devontae Adams. His future is tied to Tom Brady. You know what I mean? We got to see what Brady does first. If he resigns with Tampa, then I see Gronk coming back. Or I should say, if he doesn't retire, Gronk will come back. And if he
There's a
goes out
rumor
free
going
agency,
around that Brady's going to retire.
for me, we've seen a lot. He's kind of one of those guys now. Watching him as long as we have, you kind of want to see him win a Super Bowl and go out on top. If we've seen what he can do last year, he was almost there this year. A lot of people just want to see it just to watch if he can do it one more time. A lot of people don't. A lot of people be happy because they're tired of watching him. But again, at his age and the amount of Super Bowls that he's had, and now with multiple teams, listen, I'm rooting for the guy. If he comes back, I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate watching another Brady Super Bowl.
Take Hayden Hurst. We ain't re-signing him. He's a perfect tight end too behind Goddard. You just want to get rid of your whole Falcons team, don't you?
Yeah, I'm about to say Hayden Hurst ain't a Falcon. He's a decent. He would be decent. He's a good blocker, good pass catcher, good run after the catch. He's decent also. I'm not gonna hate on Hayden Hurst.
Mitch, go get A-Ray. Dude, your team is 75 mil over the cap. Saints. You need a lot more help. Maybe you should go after AB. Jeez.
I don't know what's
I know.
himself in A, but he needs to focus more on himself and not being so outlandish.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of this Antonio Brown thing. Like, really, I am. Hell no, I don't. We own Brady. How does the Saints own Brady? Please explain that to me. How?
I don't know the statistics between Tom Brady and the Saints. I don't know how that plays out.
I don't know, but the only thing I know is Zion is not playing for the Pelicans, so have fun with that. That's the only thing I know. But
is he still like, what is it, overweight? Is that his issue still?
Overweight or ankle?
Listen, well, all that weight is going to be tough for that ankle, so I understand.
The Saints are 4-2 over Brady. Okay, but it looks like he's doing much better than the Saints.
I would attribute that more to Drew Brees than the Saints, but we'll go with that.
Yeah. Saints swept the Bucs this season again. Yeah, but overall, who has a better record? Brady over the Saints. Let's be happy before the Great Depression, man. Bruh. Oh my God, I'm weak. You know what? Let's just go right to the Sixers. I'm pretty sure you pretty much heard about the Sacramento Kings back out of this Ben Simmons trade talks. Give me your thoughts on that.
I actually seen it on one of your videos. That's how I knew about it. After that, I went to Twitter and I was like, what's going on? But yeah, I did see that they did back out the deal. I think they're just playing. They're trying to play like they have the upper hand. I don't think anyone has any spectacular talent on either end of this trade. So it's a stalemate right now. Later on, with maybe before the trade deadline, something happens. But if Sacramento's saying they're backing out, they won't talk until the summer.
It's just, this whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, you know what they gave up? Buddy Hield, Halliburton, and like 2 first rounders or something like that.
What was it? They wanted Maxey and Thibault. I think that was the issue, correct?
Did they? I don't
know. I don't think so.
I think it was just for Ben straight up.
I thought the deal was Ben Tobias, Maxey Thibault for their trade. I thought that's why I'm like, you're basically trading teams. Like at a certain point, when you having that many players, like it's ridiculous. You're doing too much.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, Jay? How you doing, man? But look, it's just this whole thing is ridiculous. And did you see what Shaquille O'Neal said about Ben Simmons? Did you catch that?
No,
Here, I'm
no, I
gonna
didn't
pull
hear.
it up right now. I'm gonna play it. If I can, yep, there it is. I mean, basically, he just said that he does not have any respect for Ben Simmons and all this stuff. So, yeah, I'm gonna play this right now. Wait, man, I'm doing this wrong.
Look, Shaq look grizzled.
Wait, can you hear that?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna take this off. Yeah, sometimes with the headphones, you can't hear when you share the screen. So,
Them to play a certain way. I want
can you hear that?
Yep.
to play at a certain level. Difference between him and his soft partner is he can take criticism without being a crybaby, and he still wants to play. Because me and Charles, we've been on him. We stay on him. We tell him to his face what he needs to do. He didn't cry. He didn't say I want to be traded. He didn't, complain about mistreatment. And that's the difference. That's why I like and respect him. The other guy I don't respect. I've been thinking about it. You're missing the whole season because they asked your coach a question, can we win without you? And your coach gave a funny answer. That should tell you need to get in the summertime and work on your game. You don't think I haven't been criticized by you guys and Stephen A? You don't think I haven't been criticized by LA media, New York media? Great players get criticized, but great players also step up to the criticism and perform. So this other guy, I don't respect him. I would get rid of him.
But there you go.
Shaq didn't even mention him by name, which is awesome. Shaq didn't even mention him by name. Like there's no reason even to mention his name. Because I listen, I totally agree with what Shaq is saying. You know what I'm saying? You think because if that's the case that, there was a conversation and he said, you think you win without me? Yeah, because we with you. Of course we can win without you. All we've been doing is losing with you. What happened game 7? You disappeared. So if we're losing with you, of course we're going to win without you. It might take some time right now, but all right, you thought you put your team in a hole. No, you put yourself and your career in a hole. Because now look at how the whole league is looking at you. Shaq is a well-respected player. I mean, even though he's like, one of the answers right now going into basketball. He's one of the legends. So if he's telling you that a guy's out here not putting his all just because he felt offended in some way because of what a coach said, and he's going to take off the whole year, listen, I don't know if you can curse on this, but we're going to start off with the B. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start that word off with the B. That's all you are right there. You're soft. And, I'm not going to say that's the generation, that's not. That's him specifically. Ben Simmons is soft, and he just proved it this year. There is no question about it. There is no if. You can't ask. For a definite now, he's a soft person. He's fragile in every sense of the word. He's fragile.
Yeah.
He can't handle criticism. He can't handle anything. If you can't handle your coach wanting more out of you, get off the court. Get married, go get engaged, do your thing. Go be a Kardashian. Go get a show. Don't play basketball no more. It wasn't like you were blowing it up in LSU. It wasn't like you were lighting it up in Australia. So you got a lot of hype in your ear. That's all. That's all I got out of Ben Simmons, out of his whole career. Just a lot of hype.
Yeah. So, do you remember when he was playing Summer League, like way back when? And he actually said that he didn't even want to play for Summer League, that he was going to sit out of that. That was the first strike.
But you get to see what kind of person he is because all his life he had someone in his ear, most likely his brother and his parents, telling him that he's great. You had Larry Brown, who had a close relationship with his father, constantly telling him he's great. He wants to bring him over. So all he's hearing is greatness. And this is the first time in his life everyone's telling him the truth. You're not that good. You're not. Everyone says your defense is good. All right, but can you score? Can you be trusted when the game is dependent on you? Nope. So you're not that good. Go ahead, be a BJ Armstrong. Go be him. Be a good defender. It's okay. That's what you want out of your career. If you want to be great, you should have been playing this year, but you don't. So that tells you what kind of player Ben Simmons is and what kind of person he is.
Yeah.
I really hope the Sixers aren't paying him too. Let him go broke.
He's being fined like $10 million.
let him go, bro. Because what people don't know is like right now, since he hasn't been getting paid, I guarantee you, he's going to banks. He's taking out loans. So all the money he is showing, that's from a bank. That's from a loan. Sooner or later, you got to pay that back. So this stalemate is going to end bad for him. Let it go. I think that's probably one of the reasons why Morey isn't making a trade until it's something that he finds reasonable to make a move on.
Or
He's
he
dragging
just
his
wants.
feet because he's not trying to pay. No, I'm dead serious. I think he's dragging his feet because he doesn't want to pay. He's showing there's an effort to try to trade him just in case Ben Simmons comes at him because you know they're going to try in the offseason. So he's trying to show that he is trying to trade him. He's doing his due diligence. No, we can't get it done. So you're not getting paid.
Yeah. Or he just wants James Harden like really freaking bad. Like
I
that's
would
the
love
only
James
thing he
Harden on the
wants.
team. Listen, I'll take his old butt. He can still do that step back one jumper, 1 foot jumper. I got it.
I would take it too. I mean, we missed it on the first try. On the first
Yeah,
try,
I seen a story that people were saying like the Sixers were colluding to sign him, which is, listen, everybody colludes with everybody because your agents work with coaches. So I don't know that collusion thing when they're talking about free agents. That's BS. There's collusion going on right now. Look at LeBron James. His whole career was collusion. Come on.
Don't tell that to Eric. Jeez. But yeah, the biggest mistake was signing Tobias Harris to that outrageous contract and letting Jimmy Butler go to Miami.
Yeah.
That was just bad. I mean, Jimmy Butler did not like Brett Brown, 1, and 2, he didn't like Ben Simmons. He didn't like number 25. So
I don't think Jimmy Butler didn't initially like Brett Brown. I think he saw the relationship and how he treated Ben Simmons, and that made him grow not to like him and Simmons in a way. Because you've seen it. We've seen the coddling for what, 5 seasons now? That's all you've seen out of Ben Simmons. He's been coddled his whole career. And this is the first time someone stood up and said, I ain't doing that no more. And look at how he reacted. He's going to take his ball and go home.
yeah, you gotta like Shaq, bro. Yeah, I want more Hall of Famers, more people to call out Ben Simmons. More do it, more keep on going. And then Ben Simmons is just, what is he gonna do now? Like just sit at home.
And it
is,
and like someone who just made the comparison before about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler had issues with Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to play. He didn't want. What did he do? We all know about that practice session when he got traded. He let them know that he's their best player. He can do whatever he wants. But again, if you're not going to put the same intent or the same effort that he's putting in, he doesn't want that. That's the kind of player Philadelphia should have. A player that's going out his way to tell ownership, if you're not going to put the same effort that I'm putting into the game, I don't want to be here. We got the opposite of Ben Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Simmons is just, do you really think that, I still can't believe people want him after what's going on? I mean, the value is not there.
Listen, if they want him, it's better off for them. I hope they make a move for him. I hope it's something that Daryl Morey feels that it's something that, he makes a move on them. I think it's just get him out or don't pay him. I'm good with not paying him. I'm perfectly fine with not paying him.
I am too. MB loved playing with Butler. He should have said something. He's a franchise player. Yeah. He didn't step up then, but now he's like stepping up. He's calling out Ben Simmons and all this stuff now. But I'm like, where was that all these years ago? Oh.
Yeah, but it's sad because of how Jimmy Butler's portrayed sometimes, where he's unruly or he's talking out of place, where he's very passionate and he's actually telling Mike what he saw there. It was either me or him, and you decided for the wrong guy. All right, I'm gonna move on. And what happened? He ended up going to a championship. He didn't win it, but he was there in the game. He carried the team. Imagine if he would have did that for Philadelphia. Imagine if Joel Embiid had, a player like Jimmy Butler that can carry him along. We could have possibly looking at a championship. But all that's gone away with that one failed mistake.
We could have, I truly believe this. If it wasn't for that Kawhi triple doink, we would have won the championship that year. I really feel like that.
That was a heartbreaker. That was probably the worst. Yeah, that's probably one play one of the plays I don't like watching. Like there's certain plays I don't watch. When you think about the last game in the vet, any play from that game, I don't really like watching or going over. And that shot, there was so much hope. 3 times they could have came out. Nah.
And Kawhi traveled on that too. They just didn't call it.
And
They don't call traveling anymore.
and it made him look so good when, like I said, man, it wasn't even that great of a shot, but it went in. It is what it is. They got their championship. Congratulations.
Embiid was being a good teammate, backing his guy, especially to the media and the outside world. Now, since Ben don't want to be here, bump him. Just it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. This whole
I think he had, like, when we were talking about Butler, I think he had Ben's back because he knew Ben longer. That was his guy. They came in together. Jimmy was a 1 year guy, but I think Embiid and Jimmy still had that good relationship also. But Ben and him had a longer relationship. Again, everybody made the wrong decision that year. Everybody.
Yeah. I mean, now we're in the 6th seed. No, we're the 5th seed in the conference right now. We're tied with Brooklyn, I think. We need to make a trade right now, don't you think? To
We have to
move
make a
up.
move, yes. We have to make a move.
Just this whole thing with Morey, is he being handcuffed to the ownership and the ownership is not letting him do anything, or is this all Morey?
I think he wants to make the right move because, with this team, listen, this lineup is fragile. I mean, you make the wrong move, you can mess this team up for more years down the line, or you can build it up. I think he's waiting for the right move to make, which is something that a lot of GMs don't do anymore. They're quick to rush into something. At least he's taking a step and he's looking. I can't fault him for that.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. Can you imagine if we still had Al Horford and Josh Richardson? Can you imagine if we still had those contracts? That was the best thing Morey could have done.
Yeah. It takes a while to clean house. Like, we're impatient fans. It takes a while.
Yeah. I mean, this fan base is brutal. Remember when I think this was last year or 2 years ago? Westbrook was going to the locker room and someone actually poured popcorn on him. You remember that?
And everyone thought that was a bad thing. And then after that, I think a player got spat on from New York. Wasn't it? Oh my God, Trey Burke. It was like that same week or that same night in New York, he got spat on. And everyone was talking about Philly with someone throwing popcorn. And then it just got progressively worse with fans' interaction with players. And again, we're talking about popcorn. Popcorn?
And then remember, it was just a couple days ago against the Lakers. A fan just got banned. The fan base is just terrible.
What was that? Did someone jump up, run on the court? Was that what it was? Because you couldn't see it on TV.
It was something with Carmelo. It was something with Carmelo, and I forget what he said, but he just got banned. He's not allowed to come back.
And you get banned from another team, like from an opponent. That sucks.
Yeah.
An opponent.
Weren't those good contract signings or what? Which ones? What?
I think he's talking about the Al Horford one. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Trae Young got the battle.
Which is Trae Young. Oh my! You got to get guys better.
Are you serious?
Showing so much reserve, not going crazy and getting into the crowd and beating someone up.
Oh my God, Malice at the Palace.
No,
the dude called Mellow Boy so many times.
Yeah, he probably came at him disrespectful. Then then you got to be gone then.
Remember when that guy flipped off Westbrook? Remember that fan? Years ago?
That he what?
He actually flipped off Westbrook.
Yeah. Listen, I think Russell Westbrook and LeBron James get it the worst. I've seen some fans go at them crazy. Like, I don't know if people understand, like, they're not the character they think they see on TV or whatever they project themselves. Like, they're real people. You don't talk to real people that way, especially when you're sitting courtside, because a smack to the face can be easily done.
Now, that guy who actually flipped off Westbrook, he's famous. Like, he's a doctor. He keep on getting asked for pictures and everything. The guy's famous now.
It's crazy, like, what people find, like, what people get for famous for flipping off a player for what? Like, what did that bring you?
And traded up for
Trade for Fultz.
folks. Don't even.
Oh, I thought that said trade for Fultz. I was like,
No, we
no.
traded up to get folks. That was the
Danny
Lonzo
Ainge,
Ball win 2, Jason Tatum win 3.
listen,
We could.
Danny Ainge is a disgusting human being. Like he Mike Mamula'd us. That series with that year, that draft, he Mike Mamula'd us. He put so much hype behind Fultz and was looking at the best pick of the draft the whole time in Jason Tatum. That was our pick, and we didn't do it. Everybody knew that Jason Tatum was the best player, but no one wanted to take him first. No one wanted to get say that you made the wrong pick. Again, if you took Jason Tatum first, you'd be one of the smartest GMs in the league right now.
Yeah. I want to hear
It
what
was that
Rondo
bad.
little brother said to Westbrook in the bubble and what the fans said to him in Utah 4 years ago. Yeah.
You know, it got to be something wild.
I was just about to ask, who did y'all pass on for folks? Then you said it. Yeah. We passed on Lonzo, Jason Tatum, Fox. I mean, we could. Can you imagine?
Well, did you know I just heard the status of Jahlil Okafor? Do you know where he's at?
Oh, I forget.
Dude, he's playing for the Nigerian national team, and he didn't even get minutes. Like, that's a bad pick right there. Noel, that was another bad pick.
Yeah. Noel wasn't really a bad pick. It was just injury prone. He was just injury
Now,
prone.
we
And
got hype off of those Kentucky picks, and we thought we had one of those guys. We did.
Nah, Great Nizer, I'm good. All good. Just trying to be quiet. My mom's teaching right now. So I'm just trying to be quiet. I would have taken Fox
Yeah.
over Ball if I was in LA. I mean,
Definitely.
LA,
Even
man.
Lonzo, thinking about that draft now with Ben Simmons, even taking Lonzo right now would have been a better move.
You know why? Because he's progressing. He's actually working on his game.
Yep. That's what I like out of him. The kid works on his game.
Damn, Lance went to China, was balling out for 2 years, and then came back to the Pacers, getting money. Lance, I see you. Yeah, that was great. Howie Roseman looks like a genius of a GM compared to the Sixers GM. Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. We're not
I
going to
never
talk
thought
about
of it like
flyers,
that.
but yeah.
I really never thought of it like that. Right.
Listen, a lot of like I've said it too. Listen, I will be to admit it. I wanted Howie gone. But again, when you look at the landscape of what's available right now, what moves we can make, and what he's done this year, you got to give the guy another chance. Now, again, we haven't seen any news on him resigning or what the length and time is, but you got to give him another year. Just like we said, this was an evaluation season. The head coach passed, the quarterback passed, the GM passed. The defensive coordinator for me failed, but that's another conversation we had.
Please, I can't wait. If he goes to Gannon, I can't wait. I'm going live for that instant. Please get it happen.
For us, it would be exciting because it's who is going to be if that will happen. Who would be the next defensive coordinator? Who would Nick Sirianni go after? Is he going to go back to the well of the Colts? Is he going to go back to just like I said, looking at a former head coach, maybe someone who could also give him some guidance? That remains to be seen. But that first domino got to fall first. So Houston, please.
Just, oh my God! Can you imagine if that happened? It's looking good, better and better each day. And
I would be excited. Like I said, my pick is Zimmer. But again, after watching like Vic Fangio and watching all his interviews, I love his personality. I love it. Like the guy comes in there, he's old school, Old Testament. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a huge
draft for Rosen.
Yeah.
Just a huge offseason in general. A huge offseason in general. We have to build on what we did this year. This is time for Howard Roseman to set up those building blocks.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely getting extended. Like, he's definite. I hate to admit it.
We haven't heard anything to tell us anything otherwise. Like I said, what he's done this year, we haven't even heard Jeffrey Lurie talk about it, but all signs are pointing to him being re-signed.
If Zimmer or Fangio wants to be a DC, I'm taking either one of them. Granted, Jay-Z leaves. I predict Howie gets an. So do I, based on the draft and our salary cap, and we made the playoffs. That's my
And plus,
prediction as well.
I think if we were going to make a move from Howie, especially what's going on right now and how many positions are open, we would have already been in that race. We'd be looking for a GM right now, and we're not.
Yeah. I mean, who would be open if Howie Roseman did go? Who would be like a candidate for that if Howie Roseman did
For
not come
me,
back?
I've always had my candidate being the assistant GM from the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh.
I like him. His name passes me right now. It's very long, and I don't want to mispronounce it. But yeah, they call they call him Fumi. I think he's the guy right there. He's behind our what was he assistant GM himself, and Andrew Barry. He's his assistant. So yeah, he's well respected around the league. He's like a young talent. I would love for him to come in here, even if Howie still has a job. If we could pry him away somehow, so that way later on he could replace Howie, that'd be great. But there's a lot of GMs out there. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of guys who can get it done.
I would take Louis Riddick. I mean,
Louis
that's a
Riddick
good one.
comes up for a lot, but for me, I'm not on TV personalities. You know, we've seen what Mike Mayock has done. A lot of people looked at him before thinking he was a draft guru. Didn't work out in the NFL. TV personalities, I stay away from. Once you're in that realm, you're good. Stay there.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But
There's only one that ever worked out. If you look at it, there's only one TV personality that's ever worked out. Would you know who that is? Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil is the only guy. Yeah, came back with the Rams, did his thing.
Yeah, and then the Eagles, the whole Invincible movie and stuff. Yeah. Eagles will probably promote from within if Howie was fired. Andy, oh my God, like Andy.
A lot of people talk highly of him. What is it? I don't know how to pronounce it. Weddle. A lot of people talk highly of him. That could be a possibility. That could be what they're doing now. That could be why they're resigning Howie too, so that way he can groom the next guy.
Riddick is on TV.
Yes, he is on TV for a reason. Yeah.
Oh, that's him. I can't pronounce his name.
Yes, Kwesi. Yes. Yeah, he's awesome.
All right, I'll take that. So we're actually coming on a close. So thank you for coming on, man. I mean, I love having you one-on-one, just to shoot, talk football, Sixers, you name it.
Yeah, man.
I love having you on, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime. I appreciate you for letting me on.
Yeah. Yeah. And guys, if you can subscribe to Vic, his link is in the description below. Please do that. Spotlight Sports Network. Links are in the description as well. There's a college basketball show coming on the network at 11:30. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah, Vic, any last words?
Hey, man, if you can, please subscribe, come to my channel, say a like, share. But thank you, Mitch, for bringing me on. This is the first time I've done a morning show. It's pretty cool. I'm good in the morning now. As the day gets on, the headache comes up. So I was happy to get this going.
Yeah. Hunter Doyle pronounces eagle. Yep. Yeah.
The Eagles?
We were actually talking about that the other day.
That used to be a thing back in the day. A lot of people, when we were losing, a lot of people didn't want to say the Eagles. We are worthy of the name, so they just gave them the Eagles. But I think that was something Dallas fans gave us, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you all later. See you guys. Peace.
I heard they want the news. Well, we got it just for you. What's your team? Who your player? Who your crew? I heard they want the news. The spotlight is on you, and if you in the hot seat, it's times two. I heard they want the news. Come tune in to the crew, but we got the hook up just like black and blue. I heard they want the news. Spotlight Sports, what it do? Hit subscribe and that like button too. I heard they want the news.